Hey little girl, welcome to Front Porch Friday. We're inside today. The wind is howling outside. You'll probably see my swing out the window just kind of moving all around. Not a good day to be on the porch. But we wanted to continue today our series, If I'd Known Then. 5 things I've learned the hard way so you don't have to. And today we're going to talk about how to avoid getting hijacked. How to avoid being hijacked. And there's going to be a lesson today on boundaries. You know, the truth is about me. I was raised to be nice, okay? That nice is not a bad thing. My mother did good to teach me to be nice. But somewhere along the way, I let that begin to just be almost the guiding force of my life. And I became a people pleaser. Not so much a God pleaser, although I wanted to please the Lord. I really wanted that pat. I wanted that affirmation from other people. And it about ate my lunch in my 20s and my 30s. And God began to show me, Laurie, you have got to establish some boundaries in your life. Because if you don't, you'll never accomplish my purpose for your life. You'll give your life away to everybody else in a way that they may be happy, but I won't. And it was a reckoning for me. And what I began to see is there's like 4 different types of people who I am real prone to allowing to hijack my life. And I have to even today be real careful about these 4 types of people. First of all, there's a foolish type of person. And these are people that are very demanding. These are people that the Bible describes in Proverbs as angry and manipulative. And they want you to do things their way and no other way. A fool is also described in Proverbs as someone who's just a silly person. This person that you just feel like never learns, is always having to be bailed out, and you're always the one they turn to. And all of a sudden your life just turns into their life, okay? Either type of those fools. The second type of hijacker are people that are controllers. These controlling hijackers have strong personalities, strong opinions, and they would love to run your life if you'll let them, okay? They could do it for you, and if you're weak and if you let them, they will hijack your life. The third kind I would call well-meaning hijackers. These are people who just want to help you. They want to help you, they want to be your friend, but little by little by little, they become so involved in your life that they just begin to take chunk after chunk after chunk out of your life. And all of a sudden, you find you've been hijacked. The fourth type of hijacker I would call a drainer. These are those needy people, God bless them, who just need you to listen long, and they have problems and they want to pour out their hearts, and they just absolutely will tell you everything. They will weigh you down with all their stuff until you feel like you're just going to be sucked under. And girl, they never get better. No matter how hard you encourage them, how much you pray with them, these people are drainers, and they will absolutely hijack your life. Girls, it may sound unscriptural, it may even sound uncompassionate, but you and I have got to follow Christ's example, and we've got to set scriptural boundaries like Jesus did in his life. If you'll read, and I challenge you to, Mark chapter 4 through 7, you'll see Jesus time and time again as he goes out before the crowds to teach, and then as he pulls back intentionally, says he leaves them to go to be alone with the 12, or to go and be alone with the Lord one-on-one. You see him all the time leaving and kind of coming. He's very intentional. He doesn't get sucked into that people-pleasing mode or into the vortex of what other people's agendas are for his life. One passage that really, I remember seeing this several years ago, and it really got my attention. Jesus has healed this young man of being demonized. And the man is so grateful that he goes to Jesus, and he says this in Mark 5:18. As Jesus was getting into the boat after he'd healed this young man, the man who had been demon-possessed begged Jesus to go with him. But Jesus said, no, no. Does that sound kind of harsh to you? It kind of does, doesn't it? But listen, here's the truth. Here's the truth. Jesus knew this man did not need to go with him. He had to say no to him. And look what he says. He says, no, go home to your family and tell them everything the Lord's done for you and how merciful he has been. The truth is, listen, if you and I let other people hijack our lives, then they won't be able to accomplish God's will for their lives, okay? And that's just scriptural. If we let them take over our lives, then they will not be able to fulfill God's will and God's plan, God's purposes for their lives as well. It's scriptural to establish boundaries. A couple of really good books, and I'll put these on the blog so you can find them. My favorite is one of my favorite books of all time is called Foolproofing Your Life by Jan Silvius. How to deal with those people that are spoken of as fools in the Proverbs. And then this second one is a very well-known book called Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud and John Townsend. Fabulous books if you need some shoring up to help you establish healthy scriptural boundaries in your life. Girls, don't be hijacked. Don't be hijacked. Set those boundaries. And I want to encourage you to do what you did last week. Share your comments about maybe how you've been hijacked and what you've done to avoid being hijacked and what hard lessons have you learned about being hijacked. What you did last week on the blog is you filled in my teaching on how to avoid a train wreck last week just by the things you said. So I'm counting on you to do that again this week. And until then, I pray that you, if you're a people pleaser like I am, that you will say, Lord, show me, what are your boundaries for my life? What are your priorities for my life? And that you will never be hijacked another day in your life. That's my prayer. I'll see you right back here next week on, I hope, Front Porch Friday right out there. Love you, Glow Girl. Bye-bye.